So today is I don't know why I'm making this ranking, but I wanted to go ahead and rank every single Chucky movie because there's not a new Chucky movie coming out. I mean, there is a rumored one and it might happen, but we don't know yet. But I wanted to go and talk about this franchise right now because I don't really see any other time I can talk about it. And also, I do really enjoy these movies. I actually think they're a ton of fun for the most part. There's like two of them that I don't like at all, but besides that, this is a very consistent franchise, at least with the lore, and that's very rare in horror. So I'm going to go ahead and give these movies a rewatch and go ahead and give you a ranking for them. And this isn't going to be everybody's list. My list is very my own and my own experience with these movies, so take that as you will. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this ranking, starting off with last place, which is. And last place is what's been known as the worst film in the Chucky franchise forever, and that is The Seed of Chucky. This might be a very hard movie to show on camera right now because it looks like it is a porno. And it's not a very good one at that. There's some good ideas introduced here with Glenn slash Glinda. I actually really like that character or them. I think they're very great and they're a very good addition to this franchise. There's a lot about this movie that's very schlocky, very bad on purpose, it seems. I could just never get into it because I know what this movie meant, and this was a killer of the franchise, quite frankly. After this, we didn't get another Chucky movie for decades, and it really put a halt to it because they dive way too hard into the humor with this movie, way too hard into this just slocky, just cringy aspects of it all. It's just not fun. And while there's some moments here I like Chucky bonding with Glenn slash Glinda, same thing with Tiffany. It's it's just a very bad movie, and it's 100. It's always been my least favorite in the franchise ever since I was a kid because I did watch these movies as a kid. It's I just don't like this one. I never have. Next, by being a little controversial, and that is the Cult of Chucky. I just never liked this one either for different reasons. They do lean more into a lot of the silly aspects, introduce some different ideas here, like Chucky being in multiple different Child's Play or Good Guy dolls, and it's a good concept. They ran it into the ground in the TV show, but it is a good concept. It's just very it doesn't work as a whole for me. They do a lot more connections here because people really responded to the last movie, bringing in some legacy characters, and they bring them in here, and they don't really do a lot. They do a lot more in the TV show, and here they're just kind of there for the sake of it. I mean, I like Andy and this Chucky head, just their dynamic is fun. Everything else about this just feels like fan service, and having it set in this hospital could be fun, but it just falls apart. And there's too many plot twists, too many things going on. By the end of this movie, you're like, okay, cool, but was that needed? I just don't think this movie was needed. I love Nika in this movie still. Everything else about this, I just don't like. Next up is the Child's Play, quote unquote, remake from 2019. And I say quote unquote because this movie doesn't have a lot to do with Child's Play or the franchise or Charles Ray or anything like that. It's mainly just a evil doll that is possessed by technology in the same way as Mithrigan. But this was before Mithrigan. And it's just that. There's some good kills here, especially with some Christmas lights. Everything else here just really it just feels like they're trying to put a spin on the formula that doesn't really need a spin put to it. I would have just preferred a straight up Child's Play remake that expanded on the first movie some more and expanded on the relationship between Andy and his mom. But in this movie, it's like, no, it just feels like a discount 80s movie that doesn't have anything really to do with Chucky, but it has the name to get people in the seats, and that's what frustrates me. It's not a badly made movie. There's some good kills here, but it mainly just feels pointless to me because this shouldn't be a remake. This should just be an original movie that you just throw out in theaters, but they wanted to get people to see it, so they put Chucky in the title, and it just feels kind of insulting as a fan. Next up is Child's Play 3, and I do like this one, actually. It is fun in a lot of areas. Now, there's some gray areas in this movie, especially with Chucky trying to possess this kid, and he just says some things that you should not be saying, but I do enjoy a lot of the aspects here. Mainly the whole military school aspect. Now, the love interest with Andy feels extremely forced, but everything else here, I have a lot of fun with. I really love the climax of this movie. It's a lot of fun. And I love the opening here following Child's Play 2. The movie has a lot of really good things about it. What it struggles with is balancing that and just being a run-of-the-mill sequel to Child's Play. Like, out of all these movies, they all do something new. This one feels the most comfortable doing the same thing. And that has always been my issue with it, is it feels like, oh, we're just doing this again. And, well, it's not bad. And there's a lot of really fun aspects about this movie that I like a lot. And I enjoy the military school aspect and watching Chucky take down all these bad people. And I really like Andy in this movie, even though he's a little generic in parts. And the climax is great. It's just very, okay, we've done this before. In fourth place is The Bride of Chucky, and this one I enjoy a lot too. I love the addition of Tiffany in this movie, played by Jennifer Tilly. She is excellent in this, actually. Her character is a breath of fresh air for this series, especially after Child's Play 3, where that one was much more comfortable doing the same thing. Here, she adds a new spin to it, having two dolls, and both of them being quote unquote in love, and it really works well. I love the Bride of Frankenstein influences in this movie. The humor actually works for me throughout a lot of it. I know the humor turns a lot of people off, especially at this point in the series, but unlike Seed of Chucky, this one really does well with the humor. I actually really like it a lot. I love Chucky and Tiffany's relationship in this movie. The couple that they're powering around with for half of it are just very generic, and they just don't really work for me, especially with the stuff with like her uncle, and it's stupid. There's some good kills here. There's some great moments. It's I love the recurring joke about Martha Stewart throughout this movie. I've always enjoyed this one. I think this one's a ton of fun. It's one of the kind of movies you put on around Halloween and you're like, damn, I actually really like this movie. Call it a guilty pleasure for me. I actually really like Bride of Chucky. In third place is The Curse of Chucky, and this was the movie after Seed that really brought back Chucky back to the mainstream. No, this didn't go to theaters, it did go straight to DVD, but it really works for many reasons, mainly of which is the main character Nika here and her what's going on with her family and the twist going on there, especially with the babysitter. It's actually really, really good, and it's a lot of fun to watch. There's some great kills throughout this movie. They also bring back what makes Chucky cool, and that is he is this evil serial killer possessing a doll, but he's still evil. He's not just a jokester. He still makes his jokes randomly throughout the film, but they bring him back to what he was in the first movie and even the second in parts, and that is he is pure evil, honestly. Like, he is a terrible human being and he needs to be put down. But this movie really does work for that, and it builds up him as a character again to where the audience can start taking Chucky seriously. Now, in the Cult of Chucky, they definitely dilute that, but here it really works, and the cameos here don't feel as forced as they did in the next movie. So this one's always been one I've enjoyed. I love how much it leans back into the horror, and it's a really good time. And second place is the original Chucky movie, Child's Play, and this one's great. It really is. This is a movie that really does hold up for many reasons, all of which I've listed, which I love about this series, and that is the main serial killer of Charles Lee Ray, and him becoming and inheriting the Chucky doll, and all the stuff they do with the voodoo, and they definitely expanded out in the later movies and even the show. It's such a good introductory point to this world. I kind of compare it to something like the first Terminator, and that series definitely got a lot more weird as it went along. Same thing with this. But this is a great horror film, and there's still some funny moments here, especially whenever he gets burnt alive and when he first comes to life in front of the mom. It's really funny, actually. But there's some great horror throughout this movie. You really feel bad for Andy and his mom throughout the whole film, and it's just a really good time. It really is. It's one of those movies to where you're like, how did this even get made? Because in the 80s, yes, it makes sense, but like, how does this even carry on as a franchise? This is so silly. But when you tap into the horror of it and you really do that well, it makes for a really good time at the movies. And that's especially true with my number one pick, which is Child's Play 2 is my favorite film in the franchise. I have always loved this one. I was really scared of it as a kid, actually. I never was scared of the others except for this one, especially with the ending. But dude, this movie is escalation in the best way. It is how you do a horror sequel. It doesn't just want to do the same thing again. You get new aspects introduced here, new characters, new things going on. And while there's some stuff like, oh, we've seen this before, it really works. Adding this foster family into the mix and the foster sister, and you actually learning to care about her throughout the film and her and Andy's relationship. And you really caring about Andy here because you do in the first movie because you really feel sorry for him. Here, you're like, no, he's actually a good kid. And you don't want to see Chucky take his soul. You don't want to see Chucky take his body. And it really works for the film. The kills here are great, especially this one in the school with a teacher. The ending, the climax of this movie is pure escalation, because it is so well done and it really gets you wanting more from this series by the end of it because it was such a good time. This movie may not be everybody's favorite in the series, but it is 100% mine because it takes the formula of Child's Play and it escalates it to times 10. I just really enjoy this film quite a lot. So that was my ranking of every single Chucky movie or every single Child's Play movie. Tell me in the comments below who you would rank these movies, and what did you think about my ranking? I know my ranking might be a little controversial within the fandom. I mean, obviously, I have movies a lot higher than some other people. I've actually looked at some other lists, and yeah, no, it's definitely higher. But yeah, tell me in the comments below what you guys would think about this ranking and what you think about this video, and I will see you next time. Take care.